Hi guys, and welcome back to Algarve. I'm Nick, and right now we're at the Pena de Franca fort built in the 16th century to protect Lagos. Lagos itself dates back to Neolithic times. It's got an incredibly rich history, and it's one of the 4 largest towns in the Algarve. What we're going to do today, we're going to go around it for the first time, we're going to learn about some of its history, and we're going to take you guys with us. Come on, let's go and check it out. Lagos translates to lakes, and it was named as such because of the abundance of waterways and lakes in this area. Lagos isn't quite as touristy as some of the other towns, but you can still get paddle boards, kayaks, that sort of thing, and one of the places you can pick them up is right by the entrance near the fort. This area has a massive maritime history and heritage. This guy, Gilles, 15th century, sailing from here down the west coast of Africa, marvelous navigator and explorer, and very famous in the town of Lagos. These wonderful city walls are beautifully maintained, and they date back to the 14th and 15th century, and they would have been a major part of the city's fortifications. And right behind me is the San Gonzalez Gate, which we're going to go through now. As you go around this city, you're going to bump into this guy a lot. San Gonzalez de Lagos. He's the patron saint of the city, and actually he was born right here, right by the city walls. Once you're through the old fortifications, behind the walls you've got all these lovely old streets, which nowadays are full of little restaurants, bars, shops where you can buy all the sort of touristy knickknacks and things. There's a real great variety, and it's a really beautiful area. It's great. It's one of those towns that even in November, it's still warm, it's still buzzy, it's still a nice place to be. Once you're into the old town, everything's sort of quite compact and close together. And you've got a number of the churches, the squares, etc. all together. This is the main museum, Museum de Lagos, and it's right on the edge of the Santo Antonio Church. Really such a nice place to chill out. We're just in one of the sort of the main squares. I've got the lovely coffee shops, wine bars around me. I've got Santa Maria Church to my right. I've got the old slave market to my left. The main square is actually quite a small square. It features a statue of Infante Henrique and a couple of other interesting buildings around the square. In the corner of the square is the Slave Market Museum, which traces the history of slavery in Lagos and the Algarve from the arrival of the first slaves in the mid-15th century, and well worth a visit. So all the different towns we go to, all the villages we go to, they've all got a slightly different atmosphere. And what I notice about Lagos in particular, it's got this sort of quite dense old town, but also as you come out of the old town, going north a little bit, it's still a really nice town. It's well maintained, it's well looked after, lots of pedestrian areas, lots of squares with cafes, little fountains. You know, look at this, it's November, fantastic. Talking to the owner, it's just a nice little gallery, and they do coffee as well, and they change the art, they rotate it about once every 7 or 8 weeks. It's just a sort of local nice space in one of the back streets, so always walk down the back streets because you never know what you're going to find. So let me explain what we do. Before we go to a place, we get online, we check out the main places, and then when we come, we walk around and we find things, and we try to go a little bit off the beaten track. So, this, no idea what it is. If someone can tell me in the comments, I'll buy you a coffee. Somebody tell me what that is, because I don't know, but it's lovely. I do like the way in all these pedestrianised areas, you've got these little squares which can sometimes be full of unusual places and surprises, so it's worth walking around and having a look. While you're walking around these streets, and in most towns, don't forget to look up occasionally, because Portugal's famous for the tiles, and on a lot of these squares there's some really nice tiling, so just remember to look up occasionally. We do even take our own advice. We just came around another corner and found another great little square. This one's got the war memorial in it for the fallen from Lagos in the First World War. So along by the river, there's a really sort of nice, I suppose about a 1.5 kilometre promenade where in the evening people set up stalls, and on the opposite side of the river you've got the marina. Nice place to just walk down, watch the sunset, sit on a wall. We didn't like pre-plan this, but you're sort of naturally drawn towards the walls. So on the inside you've got really the old city and the architecture from there, and then outside you've got lots of little nice spaces. So we've just happened to walk around most of the walls, but it seems like a great way of seeing the place. As you come out of Lagos, along the peninsula to the west, you've got a number of small beaches. We've chosen a typical one. This is Camilo. What most of these have in common, they don't have a lot of facilities, although they are absolutely stunning beaches. You also have to be fairly fit to get off it. Getting on it is not too bad. Getting off it, that's going to be interesting. And you can walk through a man-made cave through to the sort of sister beach.
The beach is beautiful. I mean, how can you beat this? Obviously, it's a long walk down, but when you get here, what's not to love?
It's pretty spectacular.
Yeah, it's awesome. We're staying in an Airbnb that's like a 10-minute walk from here, and it's just gorgeous.
Yeah, we had a great tapas dinner, a bunch of good food, great wine, and then hit a little local pub for some happy hour drinks after.
A must do if you're visiting Lagos is come a few kilometers out of the town to the coast, where some of the most amazing rock formations, not only in the Algarve, but in the world, are waiting for you to visit. Come by Uber, come by foot, come by car, come by scooter, but come see this. You can take a boat trip from Lagos, come along the coast, visit several of these places, and if you're coming here, this is where it ends up. The boat comes right in here. You can come off, get your selfies, get your photos, and either climb up the steps or get the boat back. So here's the question. Is this the hardest, best, most beautiful workout in the world today? We do actually get quite a lot of feedback from subscribers, and one of the questions we're often asked, one, are the bars and clubs still open? And two, can you still swim throughout the winter? Middle of the winter, I'm going to say yes. Bars and clubs open, yes. Not as much as in the summer, but is it alive? Yes, especially if you pick towns like Lagos, some of the less sort of totally touristy focused towns. Look at it. The sun's still shining, the sea's still relatively warm from the heat of the summer. It's a lot quieter, a lot less touristy. You can sunbathe, swim, snorkel, or just lay on the beach. You know, it doesn't get much better than this anywhere in the world. that's it. That's Lagos, a really special town. We've enjoyed making this little video. I hope you've enjoyed it too. If you have, click subscribe, click like, come back next time. We'll keep doing this, keep supporting us. I'm Nick, to Algarve. Bye for now.